What's up guys and girls, Static here and welcome back to the single player Minecraft Let's Play series on the Static channel, 777 Static 777, what a ridiculous name, but yeah, welcome back to the series guys. It has been about a month since the last time I uploaded an episode, and so as per usual I do apologise for the inconsistency of episodes. There are a lot of good reasons for the lack of videos recently, and a lot of bad as well. I'm not really going to go into those today just because I feel like I've been doing a lot of explaining in the last few episodes. But if you are interested in knowing where I've been and the specifics of all of that, pretty much the full story has been posted on my Facebook page. Suffice it to say, there's been a lot of good and a lot of bad over this past month. And the net result of which is that now I've got a fair bit of time to start recording Minecraft. Got a bunch more free time than I thought I was going to have, so hopefully that'll mean more regular uploads. I'm going to be aiming for around about an upload per week minimum. I stress aiming though, as per usual, you know, real life does take precedence over YouTube life just because YouTube life is just for fun. But yeah, like I said, if you do want full details on that, feel free to head over to the YouTube channel's Facebook page and give that story a read. But for now, I figure we'll just jump straight into today's episode. So I haven't really done a whole heap on this single player world since last time you guys were here. I've been working on a bit of a secret project that you'd know a little bit about if you guys follow me on Facebook or Twitter, which you'll actually probably get to find out about that this week, believe it or not. But yeah, I have done a little bit of stuff around the village here, and of course we are now in 1.8, which means that now the villagers are tending to the crops, which is a good and bad thing. It's good in that I don't have to worry about replanting wheat anymore. Bad in that the wheat never actually gets fully grown, and so I'm pretty much out of wheat. And the reason for that, I haven't been eating that much bread, but I've been unlocking a bunch of trades with the villagers here, which has been really cool because this is actually my first experience with trading with villagers. So really quickly, if you're a bit of a noob with villager trading like I am, you don't know how it works, these brown coat guys and a couple of the other guys as well, when you right click on them, usually they'll just say villager. If you unlock the first trade, then they're going to unlock into like a speciality or something, so that you can see this dude's a fisherman, and then I think this guy was like a farmer or something. Was he? No, shepherd. So yeah, I've just been going around doing that, unlocking a bunch of the trades, seeing if there's anything useful around that we can exploit for a bunch of emeralds. The only useful guy I found around is this guy, the librarian. So it starts off with just your written book, which I don't even know why they make you do a written book, because you don't actually have to write anything in it. You just gotta sign a book. So they might as well just make it a trade for the quill and ink book. But I don't know, whatever Mojang wants. But yeah, you can see I've unlocked a fair few other trades here. We've got a couple of decent-ish enchantments, but nothing that I was looking for. What I mean by like what I was looking for, the other thing that I've been doing while you guys have been away from the world, I did a little bit of work on the I did a little bit of work on the mine project that we've got going. Not a whole heap of work. It still looks pretty much the same as it did last time, except you can see that I've actually started working on some of the little branch off parts here. Now, a lot of them don't go really that far, but this one and this one down here, they go, I think it's 128 blocks. We might actually check the coordinates while we're here. So what do we got? We got X635. So I think it's 128 blocks in this direction. It could be double that. So what's that, 256? I think. My maths isn't the best. But yeah, it's around about 128 or 256 blocks in this direction. You can see, because we were mining right down on the bedrock level, we smacked our face into some lava up ahead here, and so I tried to half slab over that. It was pretty deep, so I decided instead we'd do a staircase up to another level, just get over the lava lake and then continue the path down on the other side. But like I said, it does go around about 128 blocks in this direction. You can see I've found a lot of redstone in the walls, but I haven't mined it out yet. And I've also found a lot of diamond in the walls. So there's a couple pieces there, and then I think there's like 2 or 3 more. So there's one there, and then one more in this part of the tunnel. And then so we hit this point here. So where are we at now? We're at 379. So I've gone around about 300 blocks. So yeah, I'd say it is double 128, but I don't know. I'm just doing that off the top of my head, so I could be wrong. And then we've turned around, gone in this direction, so that when we finish the other tunnel, we can then connect it up and make a square of whatever that distance is. But yeah, so I haven't completely finished this yet, but I did come across a fair few diamonds, fair few bits of redstone. And the reason I've left those in the walls at the moment is that you can see my tools are not the best at this stage. I've got an efficiency 2 iron pick, and that's pretty much all I've got. I've got still 4 diamonds left back in our village base. And so this is pretty much the reason why I've left those diamonds in the wall over there, is that we are running pretty low on diamonds. And so I don't want to waste those pieces that I found, because I actually felt quite lucky finding that many in a single tunnel. Like, I haven't had to branch off at all. It's just the first initial branch. So to find that many diamonds, felt pretty blessed, so I don't want to let that go to waste. So I think before we mine those out, I want to either get a silk touch pick or preferably a fortune 2 or a fortune 3 pick, and so that way we can get crap tons of diamonds. Problem with that though, you can see I've built up a few levels. We've got 20 levels at the moment. First of all is that we really don't have that many bookshelves. I mean, I've got the 4 here, and I think we've got a few more in what used to be the library, which is over this way. But again, those are just going to drop books, not the actual bookshelves, which is not such a big issue since we've got a fair bit of wood at the moment, but yeah, it's probably not the best way to go about things. And then even then, we're not 100% guaranteed to get a fortune enchantment on that first pick. In fact, that's going to be quite rare. So that's why I've started unlocking a few of the trades with the villagers around the place, because I wanted to try and see if this librarian would unlock us either a silk touch or a fortune book. And as you can see, unfortunately, we don't have any of those. So now we could still unlock one of those trades with this guy if we keep going through the trade tree. But you can see to unlock more trades, we're probably going to need to unlock this one, or buy this one, buy the sharpness 2 book. And for that we need 30 emeralds, which at the moment I've got no emeralds. I've already spent all my emeralds unlocking other trades here, there and everywhere. So yeah, if we want to try and unlock the book from that guy, we're going to need to find a way of making a fair few emeralds. And the other way we could get the enchantment is to create another bunch of bookshelves and get a level 30 enchantment on a diamond pick. So I decided to hedge my bets, and as you can see, between the last episode and now, I've also set up a couple of animal farms. So I went out and I collected a bunch of sheep for this paddock here. Just, I don't know, because there was sheep around and I didn't want them wandering off or despawning. I didn't want to kill them. And then you can see we've got a nice big cow paddock here as well. So we've finally got a decent supply of leather. So that's no issue now. We should be able to have enough leather for the bookshelves that we need to get a level 30 enchantment. But I still don't have like an experience farm or anything of the sort. I got no real way of boosting my level from level 20 to level 30. And those are the hard levels to get as well, those last 10, without some sort of experience farm. So I think today we're going to try and figure out a way that we can get at least a very, very basic experience farm going, and some way that we can exploit these villages here for some emeralds so we can work on that librarian. So I've had a look around at some of the squidwards around the village, and so far this fisherman here seems to be the best option that I've found for getting a bunch of emeralds. We've got this raw chicken trade here. Now there are a couple of paper trades. I think the librarian had a couple himself. But at the moment, I don't really have that good of a sugarcane farm going. We've only got just this tiny little plantation here around the pond. I have been periodically going through and harvesting these, but yeah, that's pretty slow going. So maybe today we should set up a nice large sugarcane farm as well. And I was using the saving up our wheat as a way to trade for emeralds, but as I mentioned, now the villagers are actually harvesting the wheat for us, and we don't really get anything out of that. So I've contemplated actually putting fences around these farms so that the villagers can't tend to them, but I'm pretty sure I saw on a Doc M video that he was using villagers in the top, making bread and stuff to like breed the villagers. So I don't know if this is 100% necessary for villager breeding. If you know anything about villager breeding, let me know down in the comments if they actually need access to the wheat and the other plants. If not, I'll probably fence these off and keep these for myself. Be good to figure out a big farm for us for the wheat as well, so that we can start our collection and get some emeralds out of that. But so today I think, you know, the sugarcane farm and the wheat farm are going to be pretty simple. They're essentially just going to be big open fields full of the stuff, probably out where we were planning on doing our farming. So that being said, I'll probably do that off camera, but on camera I think I want to work on the chicken route today. So that's what we're going to be doing. Alright, so if you watch the previous episodes, you'll know that we set up this really makeshift chicken farm here. We should have a fair few eggs down in the hoppers if we can actually get to them. There we go. Actually not as many as I was expecting. That being said, I did have to just recently replenish our population of chickens here. I did get a few comments from you guys saying that I should put carpet over the hoppers here, just so that the chickens don't fall down into them and suffocate, because apparently that is quite a big issue with the chickens. I didn't put carpets down there initially because I had a trap door over on this wall so that we could get in and out of the farm, but I've since then realized that with the chests on this dirt block here, you can actually use that as a step. So I think we will replace all of these. Well, we're going to have to replace the chickens if we want to get to the hoppers and place the carpet on top of those. So yeah, I'm going to chuck carpet on the top of the hoppers at some stage, but we do have a nice double chest here full of eggs, and I probably shouldn't be carrying my 4 diamonds on me. We might make that into our diamond pick real quick, just so that we don't lose those or forget what we were holding them for. And I guess while we're at it, I think I had some leather. I've only got 4 leather. Alright, I'm going to kill some cows, get ourselves a proper library set up somewhere. Going to see if we can get really lucky and get a fortune enchantment or a silk touch enchantment on the first go. And if not, we're going to then start working on our chicken farm. So luckily I had a little bit of bone meal in my chest in the house, otherwise I wouldn't have had enough wheat to feed these guys and keep the population going. I would also really like to get a fire aspect sword again, so that I can kill these guys with that and not have to waste coal cooking up food. But yeah, one thing at a time, I guess. Left nothing but orphans. That sounds so evil. Got only 22 leather out of that, but hopefully that's going to be enough. I'd also like to really get a looting sword so we can get more for our effort out of killing these guys, because it feels like a little bit of a waste killing a whole herd of cows just for 22 leather. But I mean, 49 raw beef, so got plenty of steak to keep us going for the next few Minecraft days. Because yeah, the food situation's been starting to get a little bit scarce. Somehow I get the feeling that these 4 plus these 9 is not going to be enough. Grow, you silly veal cutlets. Grow, damn it. I so wish I could somehow bone meal these cows. Only waiting on like 3 or 4 bookshelves before we can get that level 30 enchant, but I don't know. I guess we'll look to the future a little bit. So once we've got the shelves going, we're not really going to need books that much, and that's another way we can get emeralds is through those written books. But for those we need ink sacs, and at the moment I've been getting my ink sacs from just this little pond over here, because there's very little water around the place. We almost always get squid spawning in here, but it's only like 2 or 3. And then I've noticed that if you guys watch the Q&A video that I did as a bonus video an episode back or 2, I got creepered out the front here, and as you can see, because come on, I'm really bad at closing those fence gates. Because of the way that the creeper explosion took out this dirt, and you can see this non-source block water here, this current pulling the squids. A lot of the time when they spawn, they'll get caught in this really quickly, get beached and drown. And so I'm thinking it might actually be worth our while just to put, I think probably 4 hoppers just here would do the trick. And then that way, even while we're mining, even while we're working in the village, we'll be building up ink sacs here that once we get our sugarcane farm up and running, we can start using that for making written books. Because once we get the chicken farm up and going, we're going to have a crap ton of feathers. So that's going to be pretty much everything we need to make those silly written books. So I think one thing that I do have a fair bit of at the moment is iron and wood. So what do we need? We need chests for hoppers. So we only need 4 of those. So give me the rest of that back. How do I do that? That's the way. Now we want our iron like that and like that. Cool, nice and easy. So now all we need to do is just go slap those in that hole over here, and so that should hopefully start building up a nice collection of ink sacs. So you can see we've already got another couple of squids spawned here just in that time when we went and made those hoppers. So I'm pretty sure this will work really nicely. Now we might also actually, we've got a crafting table right here. We don't even need to open that fence gate, and no my luck with opening fence gates, we probably should leave that closed. So we'll grab another double chest, because I reckon we've got enough room here to chuck a double chest in there. And so now what we should actually do is we'll put these 2 hoppers, we'll shift click those facing into that chest, so you wouldn't have been able to see that, but that's what I was doing. Then I reckon this hopper here we can shift click going into that hopper, and then this one over here is just an extra, I guess. That's not going to filter into the system, but that way we've got a fair bit of storage now for those squid. Eventually I do plan on fixing up this creeper crater, but I guess I'm going to make use of my procrastination, and while that's there, we're actually going to get some ink sacs out of it. But unfortunately that doesn't seem to have used up too much time. Alright, wasted a little bit of time trying to connect up the bottom mine shaft to the other corner, and now they're all nice and fat and juicy, so time well spent, I'd say. I didn't actually get very far. I was hoping to actually connect that shaft up to the other corner, but with an iron pick it doesn't really go that quick, especially when you're digging on that bottom level and you're running into lava. That made it pretty difficult, but I did get a little ways, and we found a little bit of redstone as well, so I guess it's not completely wasted, but let's hope that's enough leather to get the job done. I only got 4 baby cows now though, so that better have been worth it. Yep, definitely worth it. We made it with 2 bookshelves to spare, although I probably will change where I've placed the bookshelves at the moment. It looks pretty messy, but I mean it gets the job done. We've got level 30 and beautiful. I only just chucked that in there, and yet we got a fortune 2, so that's definitely what we're going to get. So now we need some sort of way of getting those last 7 levels, and I think I know just the way to do it. Alright, so as you can see, I've just gone and got some pretty basic supplies on me. I think that's pretty much all I'm going to need for what I've got in mind. So I think finally we're going to do something with the eggs that we've been saving up from the chickens over here in this hole. Until I can find myself some sort of a mob spawner, this is going to be pretty much my experience farm, I reckon, plus a food farm, plus something to start exploiting these squidwards for some emeralds. So this is a design that I've been messing around with a little bit on Redstone Testing World. I basically just messed around with it enough just to know that it sort of works. Other than that, I don't really know what it's actually going to do. So hopefully it does what I think it's going to do, but I guess we're going to find out. So there's plenty of designs for nice compact chicken farms on the net. In fact, I think I recently watched one from Exumavoid who did like an auto cooking chicken farm kind of deal. Now this one I don't actually want to auto cook the chickens because the villagers only accept raw chickens. They don't seem to accept cooked chickens. So I want some sort of a farm that's going to create just chickens for me that I can slaughter on a regular basis and get just the non-cooked chickens, or I can slaughter them with a flame sword if I want to, or fire aspect I think it's called, and get the cooked if I don't want to waste coal. So what I've come up with, it's nice and small, it's pretty compact, so this is the sort of, get out of the way grass, this is the kind of footprint that we're looking at. It's a little bit bigger underground, but for the above ground section this is pretty much all we need. So we want to get our building blocks on our hotbar. Now usually I'd use like stone bricks or something like that for this area, but I mean I don't have them at the moment, and I've got plenty of cobblestone, so we may as well just use that. It'll do the same trick. And we're also going to chuck a dispenser up the back there. Now that's not going to be useful at the moment. Now we also want a dispenser facing up, like so. And then we want a hopper pointing into that dispenser. And I want my dirt block back. Okay, so the basic idea is that the chickens are going to sit here. Most of the time they're going to be sitting on top of this hopper, laying eggs into the hopper, which is then going to shoot eggs up into this chamber. And so it's going to create a nice little cycle there of never-ending death. Delicious, delicious chicken death. And yeah, so I'm going to get to work on the redstone for that now. So we're going to replace that dirt block with some cobble so we know not to destroy it in the future. And we're going to have a comparator coming out of that dispenser so that anytime that there's eggs in that dispenser, this thing is going to fire. So now we want to do a couple of things with this comparator, and this is pretty much one of the first times I've messed around with comparators. You might remember we made this comparator in a previous episode for our auto smelters and never ended up actually using it. But yeah, we're going to finally use it now. So we want to split this current a couple of different ways. So what we're going to do is send that current into that cobblestone block there, and then that's going to come out underneath. So these work pretty much the same as repeaters if you've never used them before. If you're not aware how they work, like I wasn't. So more or less like repeaters. So that's going to send current into that block, which will also send it down to this redstone wire here. Now we also want to send that through a repeater, because when this sends out current, it's only going to send out current for 2 blocks. So we're going to want to repeat that, if that makes any sense at all. I'll do a tutorial on this at a later stage as well, guys. So if you don't pick up anything, check out the tutorial and that'll clear it up for you guys. So this is pretty much going to end up being a repeater clock. So the way that we set up this comparator, it's going to constantly pulse, which is going to send a pulsing signal into this repeater. It's going to pulse this redstone dust, which is going to rapidly fire this dispenser, so it'll shoot out any eggs that are in it. And we're going to have to work quickly because the sun's going down. And now all we need to do on this side is replace that with cobblestone there and 2 pieces of redstone dust. So it's the same on this side, it's only outputting a signal of 2, but that 2 is going to be enough to go back into this repeater, and if we put that in subtract mode, it's going to be subtracting from itself, which means that any time there's signal going through it, it's going to keep pulsing for us. Oh dear God, what the hell? Oh my God. Jeez. Alright, so that kind of illustrates to you guys why you shouldn't dig straight down. I'm so glad I was recording for that. I thought I'd stopped recording, but yeah, apparently I hadn't. That happens a lot. I'll go to record and I might have like tried to edit out a certain section by stopping recording, and then I lose track of what I'm doing and end up missing a bunch of footage because I thought I was recording when I wasn't, and I thought I wasn't recording when I was. Really glad I caught that. But now I've got to try and figure out how to get out of this ravine. Alright, so I've pretty much just gone ahead and built what I was going to build anyway. I did try and build the whole thing on camera, but ran into a pretty interesting issue. You should never dig straight down, no matter how safe you feel you are. But this is pretty much what I was going to build anyway. It's what I'm calling the chicken graveyard. And I'm not really 100% sure if this is going to work. I haven't actually tested it yet. Chances are pretty good that I've gone and done something wrong. But the basic idea is that this is going to be a chicken farm where whenever the chickens are in here laying eggs, it should instantly shoot the eggs back up into the farm and try and create more chickens up in the chamber. So hopefully that'll create like an exponential growth of chickens. Now the big chickens are going to be stuck down in this bottom chamber like all the time, no matter what we do. But if we put water out from this dispenser here, which most of the time we're going to want to do just to push those eggs, like any eggs that hatch on top of the dispenser, over onto the hopper. With that water there, those baby chickens are going to be able to jump out of this. They can fit through this like half a block gap. So that kind of serves a double purpose, which we'll get to later on. But you can get the farm started just by chucking eggs into the top, or into that dispenser there, and as you can see, it rapid fires. It does need 9 or 10 eggs in the dispenser at any one time, so you're not always going to get 100% efficiency, but you don't really need it. But I'm surprised how many eggs we're going through without getting any chickens here. So without the water in there, you can see that the baby chickens do just sort of sit in that trench and they don't pop out, which is exactly what we want. I don't know why they don't jump just naturally and don't try and escape, but without the water there, yeah, there's no issue. The baby chickens are going to just stay in that trench. And so this is the mode that we're going to set them to when we want to build up the population in the chicken farm. Now, the clock that we used for that dispenser is a little bit temperamental. If you just fill eggs from the hopper, so like for example when the chickens are laying eggs in that hopper, you'll see it only fires 2 eggs at a time. The reason for that is how slow the hopper actually feeds items into the dispenser. You can, as you saw, fire the eggs off much quicker if you feed them straight into the dispenser yourself, but the problem with that is that if you put too many eggs in there, which I can't actually get to that dispenser at the moment because of the chickens, usually easy to actually do that from below. And I just dug below myself, I'm aware. But so as you can see, if you overload the dispenser, for some reason the clock seizes up. You can see that, I don't know if you guys can see that on YouTube, but that little redstone dust there is still blinking, which is what you want for the clock. But for some reason that just registers as a constant signal if the dispenser here is overfilled. But if you take out a few eggs, you see it just goes back to normal. So 1 stack at a time is really all you need to get this thing going. And now I've got to try and figure out a way out of here without letting all those chickens loose. Oh, you know what, we'll do this the hard way. And, oh damn, I'm going to need that redstone dust. See, if I break out this block, the chickens are going to explode everywhere. So I guess we'll take out this fence. And yeah, that'll do. Pretty messy, but we won't have to need. We probably won't have to need to do that again, hopefully. So yeah, so we'll just feed the rest of those eggs in there. If you can't get to that dispenser, like once the population's grown to a certain size, you can actually just toss the eggs like so. But only the hopper's going to pick that up. Obviously, the dispenser's not going to be able to pick that up, so it's not going to get the rapid fire like we want. The other option we have is the button on this dispenser here. So you don't want to push this while there's just baby chickens in this chamber, and I'll show you why in a little bit. But basically, when you put the water through the system, the baby chickens straight away pop out of the farm, but the big chickens will still stay in there. And then that's why we've got this fence around the outside here. When we've got that water going, those baby chickens that get replenished are going to pop straight out and into this outside chamber here. And so those guys are going to grow up nice, fat and juicy as well. And then those guys I can just kill with my sword and trade to the villagers. So yeah, this is another one of those little projects that it's going to be able to keep going while we're doing stuff around the base, and should hopefully earn us a fair few emeralds. I was planning on using that to get our emeralds and our levels for enchanting this pick, but as I mentioned, we did run into some unexpected complications building that farm, which led to a bunch of extra iron, and so that should be all smelted up now. I don't know if that's going to get us quite to the level we need. Nah, still about 2.5 levels short. I think I'm going to go hunt for another record, and then that should probably give us the levels that we need. Oh, come on, we were so close. I'm hoping that maybe we've got some stuff still stashed in these auto smelters up by the mine to get us just over that level 30 cap. Please, please, please have some iron left in these smelters. Maybe some gold, I don't know, anything, even cobble. I'll take smelted smooth stone. What the hell? Okay. What the hell? Fix your game, Notch. I mean, fix your game, Microsoft. Come on. We're almost there. One more. One more. Okay, one more. One more. And booyah! Efficiency 4, Fortune 2. That's gonna be an episode, guys. Might not have seemed like it from your end, but this was a long episode in the making. We got a fair bit of stuff done. As far as you guys know, we got the cow farm done, we got the sheep farm done, we got a chicken farm done for trading with the villagers. We got a bunch of mining done. We got a level 30 enchantment on this diamond pickaxe, and we can get those diamonds now, finally. But just so you guys know how I feel, I'm going to let you wait until the next episode to see those diamonds. Alright, I hope you've enjoyed today's episode, guys. It has been a lot of fun filming, as frustrating as it has been. We definitely need to get some sort of a an experienced farm going, because this is just ridiculous. But I will catch you guys next time. And yeah, I've been Static. Later.